Welcome back, Resilient Moms.
Welcome.
Last week we hit the topic of sexual abuse pretty hard.
It was heavy.
It was very, very heavy. And I think to spread sunshine, we should talk about the funny shit our kids do. And you told me a story recently about your youngest that I think would, and I only heard bits and pieces of it, so I would love to hear this story about your youngest.
So, I imagine you're referring to him standing on the kitchen table?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we recently potty trained my 2-year-old son.
Congratulations.
I mean...
At 2.
At 2.
Mine didn't until 4.
I mean, I'm ready to put diapers back on. I can't. It's frustrating because he has lots of accidents, but he's like pulling, and I'm like, you have to go potty, and he's like, no, and then he has an accident.
Oh,
like,
no.
Okay. So at one point, he just started going all over the house.
Okay, so he's in pants. No pull up or what?
No pull up.
Okay.
Like, day 1, we did naked. Right?
Okay.
And then, this incident is probably months after.
Naked baby.
Naked baby. So he's always naked. Because if he has an accident, I'm like, we'll just take his pants.
Yes.
Not putting any more pants on you.
No, we have all the laundry that you have to do. I can't even imagine.
So this day, he and his sister are coloring at the kitchen table.
Okay.
Yes, he's half naked. And for whatever reason, he's always on the kitchen table.
Okay. So he's like squatting in the middle of the table?
He walks around the kitchen table, and this is my bad because I let it happen.
Enablement all day.
But I realized he's always so attached to me still at 2. And so I would pick him up and I'm like, I need to set you down. So I'd start setting him on the kitchen table while I did something. And then I turn around and I don't know. So I feel like he just got very used to being on the kitchen table. So he'll walk around the kitchen table. He can't quite reach the crayons from the seat.
Yeah.
So I'm like, just sit on the kitchen table and color.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I forgot he didn't have pants on, though. And so he's coloring with his sister, and I turn around, and this kid is just sitting there, still coloring, in a squat position, and shit all over the kitchen table.
No pants.
No pants. And let me tell you, it was the prettiest turquoise shit I have ever seen. Like, what
did he eat? Was he eating the crayons?
I mean, that's what my dog's poop looks like when they eat crayons. But I have no idea. I still have no idea what he ate to make his poop that color. But it was a beautiful color.
Did you take a picture?
Oh gosh, I may have.
If we took a picture, we're gonna post the picture.
I will. I feel like I was so frustrated in that moment that the last thing I thought to do was take a picture. But I may have commented, I think I called my husband. I was like, look, he just shit on the table. But also look at the color. So then I turn over and I'm going to get something to clean it up with. And I come back. He took his finger and put in it. And then on the kitchen table goes, paint? Paint?
No paint.
And I'm like, oh.
You know, it's really funny that you tell that story. I worked in, I have a similar shit story. Sorry for our listeners. It's not about my child. I was working in the hospital, and I had a patient who, late 90s, Alzheimer's, and I remember it was the morning shift. I had to go in and clean, we'll call her Mrs. Johnson. Mm-hmm. So I had to go in and clean up Mrs. Johnson, give her bath, get her up, get her moving. And it was right when I walked into her room. It smelled horrible. Okay? I don't know what happened in there, but she shit all over herself. That's what happened. Mm-hmm. So I go in and I said, hey, it's time. We're going to give you a bath. We're going to clean you up. She's wearing a diaper. And she said, before you do that, and she could, if I remember the terminology correctly, in the medical field, it's like A&O times 3. Which is like you're alert and oriented times 3. Mm-hmm. So you're there mentally, you can communicate, all the things. So I go in, hi, Mrs. Johnson, how are you today? She's like, I'm good, thank you. And she says, before we have my bath and before you clean me, can you please get me a bag? I want to put some of my clothes in a bag. Sure. I go get her a bag, I bring it back, and she's like, just come back in 15 minutes and then we can start our day. Okay. Get her a bag. I don't wait 15 minutes because I did all of my rounds. I came back to check on her, make sure that she didn't need anything. For our audio listeners, you'll have to go on YouTube and watch the video. She's under the blankets, and this is what I see. She's reaching under the blankets. She's pulling out the poop and putting it in the bag.
So she wanted the bag, wait, just the poop or the clothes with the...
Nope, just the poop.
Okay.
She wanted to pack up her poop. She had shit all over her arms, all over her hands, all over her face. There was shit all over her bed. She wanted to take her poop with her. The woman was not A&O times 3, okay? But that's what the night shift had told me, that she was all there.
Did she explain why? Were you like, what are we doing
like,
here?
Yeah, what's going on? She's like, I need to take it home with me. No, we're not taking that shit home with you. Also, you're not going home today, Mrs. Johnson. You have 2 broken hips. You can't move. Yes. Yeah, that's my shit story.
So we also, while I have a 2-year-old that we're attempting to potty train, like ready to throw the towel in on that one, he's shitting on the table. We also, are caregivers for a 9-year-old great grandfather. So maybe this episode just turns into oh shit.
Oh shit. Oh, I love that. That's fantastic.
Because it's never ending on both ends.
The shit stories are all day.
Grandpa used to be able to walk, and when he would go to the restroom, we'd wonder, how does shit get on the ceiling or on the mirror?
Do you think he's just throwing it up there?
No, I gotta give him more credit.
Okay, explain to me though, how is he getting shit on the ceiling?
So my husband helped him one time, and then was like, I think I figured it out. I think he was taking his... What was he doing? Like taking his clothes off.
Oh.
And like
shaking them out. Okay. I mean, that's plausible.
Yeah. So it was an actual, like, okay, I can see how that happened type thing. I mean, but now he can't walk. And so my husband is a saint. And he'll, wake up after a night and change him for the morning, get him ready in the morning. And for 9 days in a row, he woke up to a shit diaper.
Oh,
and
no.
Grandpa thinks it's uncomfortable, so he, undoes his clothes in the middle of the night, touches his face, and his
Grandpa
everywhere. And so it just, it is one of those, right now, I need some deep breaths. And if you don't laugh about it, you will cry.
Yes, I would agree with you.
So we have lots of shit stories.
Yeah, I have dog shit stories.
Oh, so many of those.
No, I was going to just say, I let him out at 7 a.m. this morning, and he was running around the yard having diarrhea. Like, it was, spewing out of his butt as he's running around the yard. And I'm like, oh, you poor puppy.
Does he eat poop?
No, thank God.
When Callie was a baby, and this is not when Callie was a baby. She's 5 now, but, for some reason, she would poop in the bathtub.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
She's not the only one. Jackson didn't do that, but she's not the only one.
Okay, so she'd poop in the bathtub. Sorry, Callie. And I would, again, leave to go get something to clean it up, and I'd come back, and it's gone. And I'm like...
No.
Every time.
No.
Every time.
Tell me it was the dog.
Bo, yeah. My dog eats the poop. Here we are, 3 years later.
Tell me it wasn't Callie.
3 years later, potty training, and my son goes in his tiny little potty, and before I can clean it out, Bo is eating it again.
He eats everything.
He's everything, including feces. So.
Oh, wow. Well, I think we've talked about enough this fit today. I it's one of those, we could talk about shit all day long, whether it's shit in our lives or shit coming out of our bodies. But sometimes it's just funny to
Laugh.
Yeah.
It's healing.
Yes.
Laughing is healing. And so we started this conversation with, you know, funny things our kids did, and then it, you know, went a little sideways, which is totally fine. But like, let us know what funny things your kids have done.
Please.
Like, let us see the light and laugh about the crazy things.
Yes, and please, well, like Brittany said, please share your stories with us, but please also let us know if it's okay that we can talk about them. And share, anonymously, if we can share your stories at the end of an episode or something to lighten any difficult or heavy topic that we've talked about that day. So yes, please share your oh shit moments with us. And we'll see you next week. Thank you so much.